Hello, welcome to another episode of This, That, and the Other. And show is about preserving history, especially obscure aspects of history. And I'm taking a trip down into obscurity again. Mid 1980s. Matter of fact, more specifically, 1983 to 1985. Those 3 years. Those years, the United States Football League, USFL, existed. The league lasted 3 years. And I started reading up on the league before a game was played. I wanted to get as much information as I could on it. And I, with some friends, went to the first Federals football game at RFK Stadium. They hosted the Chicago Blitz, which Chicago Blitz were coached by the former Redskins coach George Allen. And Federals showed not much of an offense, and they lost to the Blitz 28-7 in that first game. I believe it was raining that game. It rained during a lot of those Federals games. As a matter of fact, I went to another one that year and also rained. But anyway, that first game, they drew more than 38,000 fans that showed up in the rain. But they were overmatched and they lost. The team never again in their 2-year existence drew more than 15,000 fans on their home field. They finished the 1983 season with the worst record, 4-14. They did win their final 2 games, and surprise upset of the league's best team, the Philadelphia Stars. As a result, Burl Bernard brought back head coach Ray Yawk for a second season, and I should say a little bit about Ray Yawk. He coached in the Canadian Football League, and let me get some information on him. He was from Illinois, and he was an assistant coach with the Edmonton Eskimos. Starting in 1966, 1970, he became the head coach and coached the Edmonton Eskimos all the way to 1976. 1975, his team won the Grey Cup, the equivalent to the NFL Super Bowl. After that, 1978, he was head coach of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers all the way to 1982. And that's when he was lured to Washington to coach the Washington Federals. I do remember later on, later 80s, he was head coach of a high school football team at Washington Lee High School in Arlington, Virginia. I remember going to one of the games and saw the game that he coached in high school. Anyway, what I was going to talk about basically is the 1984. Matter of fact, the first game of the 1984 season. Like I was reading, he came back as the head coach for the 1984 season. Well, first game they go on the road to Jacksonville Bulls, which had not played a game yet, not played a regular season game. They were slammed in that game, 53-14. The Bulls scored that many points on the first game of the season for the Jacksonville Bulls. And after that game, owner Burl Bernard said that the team played like untrained gerbils. As a matter of fact, I remember that Federal's logo, that bird with the black head and the green feathers. they had it looking like drawn up, looking like a gerbil. Kind of interesting. I believe it was in the Washington Post. And anyway, after that game, about three days later, the owner of Burl Bernard called Ray Yawk, and he was in Florida. Ray Yawk was in Florida. He told him he was fired. So Dick Bielski took over as head coach of that football team for the remainder of the season. And matter of fact, their first round draft choice from 1983, Craig James, a running back out of SMU, got injured, and I believe by the 7th game of the season, he was released from his contract with the USFL team and signed on with the New England Patriots. Washington's record that year, 1984, was worse than the year before. They went 3-15, again finishing with the worst record in the league. After the 1984 season, they were going to relocate to Miami, and the man that was going to own them was going to bring in Coach Howard Schnellenberger out of University of Miami. Well, league meetings of August 1984, the investors planned to switch to fall schedule in 1986 to take on the NFL head-to-head. This new potential owner did not want anything to do with challenging the Miami Dolphins or University of Miami for playing time, stadium time during the fall. The Miami deal fell apart, and he sold the team to a man named Donald Disney, not connected with Walt Disney. It's spelled Dizney, minority partner in the USFL's popular Tampa Bay Bandits. He bought out Bernard and moved the team to Orlando, Florida. In 1984, the team was renamed the Orlando Renegades. USFL folded in August of 1986 on the eve of what was supposed to be its first fall season. So that's basically what I was able to find out on that first coach being fired after one game. Never heard of another coach ever getting fired that early in the season before. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. It very well may have. But that's the first time I ever heard of it happening. But it was no surprise. But anyway, that was what I was able to find out on the 1984 season first game of the Washington Federals against the Jacksonville Bulls. And I'm looking for ideas on shows to do in the future. Like I said, my show is about preserving history, especially obscure aspects of history. And if the suggestion is feasible, I will research it and base a show on it. I do not discuss controversial issues and political things. I do not discuss politics on this show. That being said, like, subscribe, share. As always, thanks for watching.